Hey everyone, it's Southern Belle Canto. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my November wrap up. So I'll be going over all the books that I read during the month of November. So I was really excited about the month of November because every single book that I read was a 5-star except for one short little novella, which was a 4-star. So I had an amazing month of reading. I read so many great stories this month and I'm excited to share them all with you today. So I'm going to do it in the order in which I've read them throughout the month. And like I said, there's only one that's a 4-star and the rest were a 5-star. So I started November by reading It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This was such a surprising read. I really thought it was going to be a traditional romantic comedy, but it was actually very spicy, which is really enjoyable. So don't let the cover fool you. I think it did live up to the hype. This book was really popular, especially because of TikTok and other sort of book venues, and I really enjoyed it. I like this story, and I think I might be getting this for some people for Christmas because it was a really good book. And the sequel comes out in March, so I'm excited for that. So if you're looking for a good romantic comedy with some spice, check out It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I read it in November, and it was still fine to read. It wasn't very like a summery beach read, so that was nice too. All right, my next book was The Perks of Loving a Wallflower by Erica Ridley. It is book 2 in the Wild Winchester series. The first book is The Duke Heist, so this is the second in a series, but I didn't find that you needed to read them in order. I didn't really miss anything out by skipping the first book, so that was a bonus for me. So this was a historical romance, and it was sapphic, so that was really cool to have inclusivity and, you know, modernizations and stuff like that. And I really did enjoy the story as well. I really liked how Thomasina was like a master of disguise. I thought that was really cool. And I also really liked the family aspect, not just for Philippa, but also Thomasina and the Winchester siblings. So that was a really fun story. So this had a lot of humor. It was light drama. So if you want to read like a sapphic romance or like LGBTQ romance, this isn't heavy. I know a lot of books, at least when I was reading them for gay and lesbian literature, were really heavy and depressing, and this is a really lovely, light historical romance that just happens to be sapphic. So that was lovely. So if you're looking for a book like this, check this one out. I really did enjoy it. All right, this one, was it my, I never really decided what my November favorite book was, but I think it was this. I really did enjoy this. This is When You Wish Upon a Duke by, oh no, Charis Michaels, I believe is how she says it. I believe it's, I read about it. Her name is based on a goddess, I believe, so I believe it'd be pronounced Charis if I was to do like a Greek or Latin modernization. So Charis Michaels, and it's When You Wish Upon a Duke, and it's the Awakened by a Kiss series. And this is a series, but to me, I think it's going to be like every book, it is a series, but they're all like standalones, if that makes sense. So you don't have to read them in order, but they're all sort of the same idea. So these are like historical romances that are like retellings or influenced by fairy tales. So this heroine is Isabel Tinker, so she's kind of like a Tinkerbell archetype. And I thought at first from like the cover he was going to be like a Hook, and I know a lot of romance novels lately have like to put Hook with Tinkerbell, like I think that one was called A Worthy Opponent by Katie Roberts in The Wicked Villains. I haven't read it yet, but I know about it. And that was Hook and Tinkerbell. And so I really thought this was a Hook, but it wasn't. He is Jason North Beckett, and he was the Duke of Northumberland. And he was such a wonderful hero. This had such great wit and humor in it, especially like the British humor, which I love, and had a fun story. It wasn't a pirate romance, but there was a large part that took at sea. So if you like books that it has like close proximity and they're on like a ship, this would be a good book to pick up. But this was my favorite. It's one of the best historical romances I've read all year. I really just enjoyed the heroine, and I really want to read the first one. The first one is, I think it's in the front. Let me check. A Duchess of J. Oh, I have to figure out where to go. And I believe that one is a retelling of Snow White. And I've always liked I love fairy tales. I think they're just so cool. I know it's so lame to say that, but I really do love fairy tales. And there's a YouTuber I really enjoy. I don't know what her channel is. I think it's just Jen, like Jennifer, Jen Campbell. And she's British, but I don't know if she's British or Irish. She's from the United Kingdom. And she does like the histories behind fairy tales, and I love her videos. And she's an author as well. I haven't read anything by her, but I think I probably would pick something up from her. And she does these lovely videos on YouTube, like the history behind the fairy tale. And they're just so amazing. Like, I love fairy tales. I love The Little Mermaid. I have mermaids all over my house. As you can see, I have one right there. And, I mean, there's one there. I mean, I have mermaids everywhere. I love mermaids. And, I love the history of fairy tales. I love, like, the dark history of fairy tales. I think those are really interesting. So if you love fairy tales, or you love, like, the archetypes of characters from fairy tales, pick up When You Wish Upon a Duke. It was a really good book. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorites. So this will be in video for, well, later on, for like my all-time favorite books, I think, because this was a really good read. Really enjoyed it. All right, my next was a memoir, and this is From Scratch by Tembi Locke. This is nonfiction. As I said, it's a memoir. It was very, very heavy, very sad, and it dealt about her life, meeting her future husband, and her time in Italy. And just a really interesting memoir, especially about like losing your spouse, losing a big love in your life, and just how you move through grief. I really enjoy reading about grief. I know that sounds bad, but I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I like to see how people work through their grief, especially with the loss of spouse or loss of loved ones. So I really did enjoy this memoir. My favorite memoir that deals with the loss of like a spouse or heavy grief, like loss of child, would be the works by Joan Didion, her memoirs. Well, I don't know if they're called memoirs, but the works by Joan Didion, which is the one about the passing of her husband, is The Magical Year of Thinking, and the one about the passing of her daughter is called Blue, and those are amazing. Those are books you should read before you die. No pun intended. Sorry, had to. But they're wonderful, wonderful works. I love Joan Didion. And From Scratch was such a lovely story. This is a Reese Witherspoon book club book. I found this probably around this time last year, like either late November or last December of 2020 at Dollar Tree. This was at Dollar Tree. Like you see, it has like a mark. Hardback, brand new. Reese Witherspoon is a sticker on here. It's not like, put on the book. It was $1. There's nothing wrong. No pages were missing. It wasn't upside down. It's at Dollar Tree. I have no idea why. I'm very thankful it was at Dollar Tree. And I read it, and it was 5 stars. So that was a win-win. If you love Italy, if you love memoirs, if you love reading about romances, but also how to handle the grief of losing someone, I recommend this memoir. It was very good. I really liked it. All right, and then my 5th book was Julia Quinn. Of course, I'm working my way through Bridgerton. This is book 7. This is Hyacinth's story. I love this. This is very good. This might have been I did like When You Wish Upon a Duke, but this was a very close second. Because Hyacinth is such a wonderful heroine. It was sort of like when I read Francesca's book last month. I was like, I'm not too sure. They don't really talk about a lot of the other sisters, like Francesca and Hyacinth. They kind of mostly went with Eloise and Daphne. For the story, they had bigger roles in all the books. And Hyacinth was like a little girl in like the first couple books, and now she's a grown woman. But she has such amazing wit and humor. She is just like Lady Danbury, and ironically, our hero's grandmother is Lady Danbury. So if you're a fan of Lady Danbury from the books and the show, you will love this book. It was so, so good. Great story. Had the same sort of plot layout that's in a lot of Julia Quinn's books, where everything's going good and there's like this misunderstanding, something's taken out of context, or something happens accidentally and you have to resolve that issue. But I'm okay with that. I don't mind a formula. If it works, it works. You know, there's a formula to make a good cake. There's a formula to make a good book too. So I have no problem with that. But yes, I love this story as well. I love this cover. I always forget which way the camera is, but so pretty. This bluish purple with the hyacinth on the vanity boudoir. Beautiful. All right, and I had another sapphic romance I read in November. This is a contemporary romance by Suzie Carr, and this is called The Pet Boutique. And this was such a lovely story, very heartwarming, wholesome in a way, and I really enjoyed our heroines. So we had Taylor Henshaw, who was like, she's not a very lucky person, sadly. She's had lots of trials throughout her life, and she's had lots of losses. And by a coincidence, her best friend, she's sort of like her editor, is wanting to put together a pet boutique. And she has this amazing meet cute with our other heroine, Lexi. I love a good meet cute. I love rom-coms. I love, you know, like silly things that happen where people meet and it's like instant attraction. I always enjoy reading about that. I love seeing it in movies. I know it's gimmicky and doesn't necessarily happen in real life, but wouldn't it be lovely if everyone had like a meet cute with their supposed match? I think that'd be so cool. But this had such a wonderful meet cute in the story. I love the family dynamic in this as well. Yeah, what's interesting is a lot of these books dealt with family dynamics, except for When You Wish Upon a Duke. All the other books this month were family dynamics, which I enjoyed. I have a strong family connection. I love family. I'm a family person. So if you like families, if you like reading about families, this was a good book. And had a wonderful dog in the story. I know a lot of people in romances don't like kids, like you know, people with a child in a book. But they had such a wonderful dog in the story. I really think they should make a children's book with the dog Cashmere, because I just love the dog. Like the dog would do like commentary of the scenes, and like you as the reader would know this dog knows what's going on. He's seeing these sparks fly, and the other two are like denying it, and the dog's like, I know what's going on. So if you're looking for another sapphic romance, this one was really, really sweet, and it's short, which I like too, because a lot of my books, like historical romances, they're long. I saw one at Walmart recently. I think it was Julie Garwood. I couldn't remember the author. Someone I haven't read before. But that book was like 900 pages. I was like, if I'm going to read a 900-page romance, I'll probably read Outlander. But this book was 251 pages. So a nice read. I read about 150 pages a day. So, you know, a couple days worth of books. So that was lovely too. But just wonderful characters. I love the character development in the story. I love to see like a full scope of characters. So like, you know, that has growth and process, and we see them younger, and we see that development and growth as an adult. So if you like stories like that, check out The Pet Boutique. I had to look up by Suzie Carr. I can never read backwards, so I have to look. But wonderful story. And I had one more book, and I actually haven't finished it. I've been not feeling great lately, and that's why I have my glasses on. I never wear my glasses. I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna look like House of Gucci with my turtleneck and my glasses. But I have the cover on, but I'm reading Spy by Danielle Steele, and it's been really good so far. I'm sure it's going to be a 5-star because I love Danielle Steele. And it's about a woman in the 1940s that's upper class, and she has been sort of she's met with these men that know that she's very fluent in German and French and Italian, I think, and they want her to basically join. I don't think it's called, they don't call it MI6 or M16, whatever like James Bond does. I can't remember what the name was. It might have had a different name before James Bond. That's all I know about the British Secret Service. But anyway, she becomes a spy during World War II, and that's all I've gotten so far. I'm not very far into it. I'm only on page 46, so I have like 300 pages. Yeah, about 300 pages left, so I have a lot more of the story to get through. But I've really enjoyed it so far. It's a historical fiction. Probably will have some romance in it as well. But usually, or I should say lately, Danielle Steele books don't focus on like the romance. It's more of like a woman's journey in life. That's sort of how I view it. So I'm sure it's just going to be about Alexandra, who goes by Alex, and basically her life from, I think she's like 24 now, till probably, I guess she's like 60 or 70. That's usually what Danielle Steele does. So I'm excited to get through it. And yeah, those are all the books that I read for the month of November. Hard to believe. It doesn't make sense to say November. Oh, I lied. I read more books than that. I read the first 2 novellas from the Mistletoe Christmas Anthology. And the first 2 were called, let me look them up, sorry. A Mistletoe Kiss by Eloisa James. That was a 5-star. And my 4-star read was Wishing Under the Mistletoe by Christi Caldwell. And that only got a 4-star because it was a second chance romance, but I didn't get enough like backstory with the hero and the heroine to like feel motivated for them to get back together or anything. It just felt, it wasn't rushed, but I didn't get what I wanted as a reader from the story. And then I also read, I posted it last week. I read on my Kindle, which is very exciting. I bought a Kindle Paperwhite. We'll talk about that in another video. But I read, oh, what's this doing? I'm not tech savvy. I read Baby Gravy by Frankie Love. I think you can see it there. And it was a 5-star read. It's 30 pages. I read it in like 15 minutes or 10 minutes. I don't remember. It was very cute. And actually it was 5-star. It had a good story. I was surprised. For 30 pages, I got everything I wanted. I got backstory. I got development of character. I got angst. I got spice. It was a good romance. I was really impressed. There were some grammatical errors, but I mean, hey, it was 99 cents. And it was a good story. So I highly recommend Baby Gravy, and there's others in like the Thanksgiving motif as well. So that was funny. Well, everyone, these were the books and novellas and short stories that I read in the month of November. I hope you had a happy reading month. Hopefully one of these books caught your fancy. And I have reviews up or are going up of all these books. I did a lot of pre-filming in November because I wanted to partake in Vlogmas. So this is going to be my kickoff to Vlogmas. I'm very excited. I have a cute little Santa hat thing I have for all my videos, so that's really cute. So I'm excited for Vlogmas. I'm excited to partake. I've been a long time YouTube watcher, so to finally live out my sort of dream and become a YouTuber, which, you know, whatever, I've really enjoyed. So I'm excited to partake in Vlogmas, and yeah, hopefully one of these books caught your fancy. Well, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, as well as comment. And I will see y'all for another video. Bye, everyone. Oh, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Southern Belle Canto. Like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everyone.